This is ESPN ESPORTS. I'm Arda, Ocal. The news is out that we are getting a brand new Crash Bandicoot. That's right, Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. Set to release on October 2nd with a $59.99 price point, available on PS4 and Xbox One. Here are my 3 takeaways from the new release, Crash Bandicoot 4. Number 1, nostalgia is a hell of a drug. We always knew that. It's always nice to look back to yesterday, all the feels, everything that you loved from when you were growing up. Crash Bandicoot is no different. If you were a 90s kid, then you know all about Crash Bandicoot if you were playing a lot of video games, especially on the PlayStation. And you also know that Crash Bandicoot is a series that has really had a lot of time to build up that nostalgia because we haven't gotten a sequel like this in decades. We've gotten some racing titles, we've gotten some appearances here and there, but we haven't gotten a true sequel since number 3, Warped, which I think was 1999 or 2000. So it's been a very, very long time. Now, this release is going to be built from the ground up, as we understand it from the developers. IGN did an interview with the developers of the game, and they said that this is going to be a true sequel. It's built from the ground up. This is not remastering an old title. So for those of you that are looking for a completely new game, you're getting a completely new game here with Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. So that's a really good piece of news. And it's coming out in October, so it's a little bit sooner than later. We got a couple months to wait, but anticipation is just going to build. So from that point of view, from capitalizing on the nostalgia market, from capitalizing on the fact that we haven't had a release in such a long time in this series, and the character is beloved by many in video games and video game fans, I think that's definitely a win. With that said, my second point here is, will people pay $60? I think that is a very high price point for a game like this. Now, to be fair, there are definitely long-standing titles like Super Mario and Zelda, a lot of Nintendo IP that charge a similar price point. So Crash Bandicoot definitely does have its loyal fan base that have been waiting for this title for a very long time and will be happy to pay that price point, especially because this is a brand new game that is being built from scratch, like I just said. But I wonder if in today's market, we're going to get a lot of new video gamers that are going to be wanting to pay that $60 price point. I think that's going to be a little bit of a tough sell, but I don't think that it's impossible. I think that Crash Bandicoot definitely was a success and has longevity, and a lot of people have fond memories of it, so it's going to corner that market. In terms of new gamers that have a lot of different options available to them, often at cheaper price points, I do wonder whether this game will be a huge success from that standpoint in terms of volume of sales. And I'd love to see the demographics of people that will be purchasing this game, because I do think initially, at first glance, $60 seems a little bit steep, but it's not out of the ordinary for what we've seen in the market for these kind of titles. So maybe it's appropriate, maybe I'll be proven wrong, but that's my initial reaction to seeing the price point. The third thing is, another reason why I believe that this might be a little bit of a tough sell is because of the fall release video game schedule that we're going into. It's going to be very busy in September, October, for the rest of the year, essentially. We know that Cyberpunk was delayed, so that's going to be a November release. Star Wars Squadrons just made an announcement that they're going to be releasing. I believe it's on the same day, actually, on October 2nd. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on, that there's going to be a lot of releases in the fall and winter of 2020. And I gotta wonder whether Crash Bandicoot 4, even though it does have that loyal fan base, will it get lost in the shuffle of all the other releases that are going to be coming out in the fall and the winter, with those two titles being major releases, major anchors that people can point to. So I don't think it's going to be a complete miss. I do think that, like I said in point number 1, nostalgia is a huge factor here. Crash Bandicoot is a beloved character, and the game is a lot of fun. It's a platformer. If you haven't played it before, it's a platformer, very similar to like a 3D world kind of game where you're roaming around and it's level-based, and there's different tricks that you can perform, multiple characters that you can use, with Crash Bandicoot is the main one. So those are my 3 points. I think the nostalgia factor is good here. The price point, at first glance at least, seems a little bit high. I could be proven wrong there. I do wonder if that is more catered to the hardcore audience and the ones that have been clamoring for this release. And also, we're coming into a very busy fall season of video games, especially among titles that have been pushed back like Cyberpunk and Star Wars that was announced for the very same day. So there's going to be some competition there. We'll see how Crash Bandicoot performs. Let us know in the comments below your initial reactions. Are you happy that there's a Crash Bandicoot sequel finally? Are you happy that it's being built from the ground up, that this is a totally new release and not a recreation or reconstruction of an older release? Are you happy with the price point? Is this an immediate yes for you or an immediate no? Are you going to buy this? Are you going to wait and see what the reviews are? Are you going to be an early adopter? Let us know in the comments below as it pertains to Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time.